keeping track. Mark, I'll give you mine as soon as I'm done. Or you can share with maybe Dot in the meantime. There were 5 things that looks like, actually there's more, but some of them are lumped together. We've got to get back to Mark Pickering based on a letter that he sent the town on February 1st of this month, indicating where and how long. I guess what I should say, if there are places in town that need center line painting, he wants to know the number of feet, if there's anything special or unique that we want as a part of that job. He said he wants it ASAP, but he doesn't give a specific day. Class 1 and class 2. We don't have any class 1, I guess, so
Yeah,
it's all class 2.
okay.
They thought they come out automatically every year.
Yeah, a lot of times.
We don't even.
You gotta, well, it may be because it's based on some conversation they had somewhere along the line.
Okay.
Because according to what his letter was, which I didn't, oh, here, I think I brought it with me as a matter of fact. Yeah, it was addressed to the town clerks, village trustees, and municipal managers, dated February 1st. And it does not give me the feel that they're gonna do it, and you don't need to tell them anything. It looks like they wanna know if you're gonna have any work done in town.
Okay,
They wanna know where that work is gonna be
Yeah,
done,
like
the size of it, the length of it,
Yeah.
what's to be done, when can they come back and put the lines on so they can coordinate it with any other
Yeah.
lines that need to be done, et cetera, et cetera. And they gave me a website, where all of this can be put in, to the website automatically. So, and it is class 1, class 2 highways. Sounds like it's an annual event, but apparently, for whatever reason, it looks like they're requesting contact regarding it.
Could you
Yeah.
just show me what this paper looks like?
Oh, here.
Because.
Whoops, I'm sorry.
Sounds select board, and it came in the email, you got an email?
I got an email, a copy of it was sent to all the town transportation people, and I don't know, I had spoken with Megan a time or two, so.
All right, cause I didn't get this.
Oh, I can send it to
Oh,
you.
no, yeah, I was like, all right, I thought maybe something Guy would get and then forward it out.
Well, it might have come from Guy, I don't know. I got it, that's all I know, and Guy's pretty good about getting those
Yeah,
stuff.
cause I usually.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
if there was gonna be paving that was taking place, they would hold off until that paving was done.
Well, unfortunately, last year, they painted the lines and 10 days later, we paved.
Yeah.
And so those around that corner is not lined,
So
so
this year.
we're not paving anything. I don't believe we do anything. It might be crack sealing.
I know they're not gonna do it on their own, because in this, the 3rd paragraph down, it says, to schedule this work as efficiently as possible. VTran needs to know which roads in your municipality are scheduled for repair and or retreatment as early as is possible. This will improve scheduling of equipment and help avoid unnecessary painting of roads prior to scheduled resurfacing. And then it gives the email address to send the advisement in.
So we're not doing any resurfacing this year except for Putney Mountain area.
Right.
Is that's not a
That-
line, that's not a
it.
lined road. It's not a class 2.
I think it's
class 3.
class 2 from one town to another town.
Right.
So it's be-
So we don't have any repaving.
And I guess probably that would mean if there's any major projects that would slow them up for running.
Driving the
truck.
truck through town.
Is what they wanna know.
So would the only place be where we had the repaving done last summer along the river? On
No,
aggressive.
they'll do the whole town.
Oh, they do the whole town automatically.
From the
Okay.
bridge.
And okay, so I'm just gonna say that we don't have any plan, do what
We
we
have
need to
no
do.
plans at this time for any repaving servicing in town.
Okay,
As far as I know, just maybe an unscheduled tree work or a roadside mowing, but nothing that would stop.
That would stop a truck
Okay.
from coming through.
Nothing.
Okay.
I will finish this out and send that into them
Thank
by the
you.
end of this
No,
week.
no.
Okay?
No.
Okay, in another email that was sent to me, I think, but I probably was the one that sent it, but it came from Megan Brunk. And there are several things. There's apparently a town highway structures grant. And that the information on that needs to be filed with the state by April 15th. Goes to, and actually specifically the District 2 division of the state. And there's the same letter covers another application. Not only do they have that, but there's also a town highways grant application. There's a separate application due for each of those. And again, that again is also due by April 15th. Is that something that rings a bell in your?
What was the last, last item?
Let me see, it was the town highway grants applications. And it's broken into two categories here. The municipal highway grant application. And then a town highway structures grant program. And they need applications for either or both, whatever the town desires.
Okay.
And that's gonna be done no later than April 15th, to them no later than April 15th.
Do you think we're gonna need to do a structure grant this year with cleaning up the FEMA? Could it be something that we would work on?
I don't know.
Well, Megan said that after town meeting day, she's planning to call every town and set up a meeting date and to go over stuff like that. So I'm hoping she might shed light on, we're still waiting on the structure grant for box culvert down by,
Tattersall.
That we've been waiting, it should be within the next year or two, I would
All right,
think.
so we're on a list for a structure grant for
Yeah.
that giant box culvert
Yeah,
at Tattersall.
and we do have to apply, and I think that Megan will help us make sure we're signed up for that.
Well, Megan is required to, and we know she doesn't do this. She's required to be at each town no later than 20 days after a town meeting, which typically is the 7th of March, that would should put her 7th of April, 17th of May. These reports need to be done by the 15th of April, so that's not gonna fit into her schedule as what's required by law. And she came in here, I think, early June last year, so we know how that's gonna probably work out.
Right.
Unless we request her to put us first or near the bottom, the early part of the list.
Yeah,
And I guess part of me being unknown, I didn't get this kind of presentation, I think, but I didn't come on this until 2 months after this date last year when they were talking about this. So I have no idea. I'm gonna need your guidance, Archie's guidance or whatever, if I'm gonna interface with anybody on this for the town.
right, what they can be used for, and I guess that would be.
Is there any information you want me to request from them to find out what it is specifically and help us?
I guess just those two questions.
Yeah, ask her if she's aware of the structures grant that we put in for on Grassy Brook Road. For a big box culvert.
Right.
And any other. But yeah, all right. Thank you.
And I think,
Yeah.
I think the only other big thing that they help us with is our matching pavement funds that come around every several years, but I don't think we're up for that for another few years as well.
Okay. Okay, and she does mention in the same letter, the TA6, which is the financial plan
We did
for the town. We did it last year. We have to do it every year. And it's done,
And that's with that
Spring, early summer.
specific little multiplication thing that she does.
Right.
The monies we get.
you know,
per
winter
mile.
versus summer, and
Yeah,
she calculates our budget, and that form has an effect on how much money we get in an emergency
Right.
road scenario, so
Right.
it's nothing that can be screwed around with in terms of time.
Well, knowing that it costs us $40,000 a year just to plow our roads, and it equivalates exactly to the $40,000 we get to take care of our roads, it's sort of an interesting wash in a way, but we can prove that we cover all the residential roads in that respect.
The last line in this, which is in bold print, says, "To set up a time for the annual meeting, please call Megan Brunk at," and it's got her phone number.
Oh, all
I don't
right.
know if you want us me to call her, you call her, whatever, set up a date.
would you mind?
Not at all.
Yeah,
If it helps you, that's
I know
fine.
You gather good information, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And let's see, and then, of course, we gotta fill out the last thing to comply with your informational request, Dot, was we again have to do the annual confirmation that our roads are up to the state standards and being maintained as such. And that's something that should be done at our earliest convenience as well, but they didn't have a target date. I'm sure on the form there was one, but I just don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
There is a new law out or bill out about the way that we're going to have to identify road care. And I don't have it here with me tonight because I didn't put it on the agenda, but and it's a bill, it's not been passed, it's not the law, but it, like a certain time of the year, you're gonna have to have, you clean culverts between this month and that, that kind of thing. They wanna see a plan. Scheduled maintenance. They wanna see scheduled maintenance. What I did with FEMA this year when they asked for my maintenance schedule for the road, and they letter based upon a sample template that FEMA provided me to say that we cover it and so on and so forth, but it wasn't the formal chart that many bigger towns do. So they expect us to do the same as any big town now, so.
Okay.
All right.
Other than that, I don't have anything else to think of.
Okay.
Let's see. No, I guess that's it.
All right, thank you, Stan.
Yep.
Bruce?
There's nothing right now that can't be put off, summer past for now.
Okay, all right, very good. I did put a phone call in and he was supposed to call me on Monday, but he probably got busy with the Emmett Larson of Larson Electric to talk to him about how to go about adding the well pump to the generator system at Town Hall in the case of emergencies. And one of the things, I don't know, I was talking to Bruce about this or Stan or Howard Roger, was why didn't we just run the whole building, this whole building on the generator? Why did we limit the?
Because the generator wasn't capable of doing the whole building.
What is the power of the generator? It's like 15.
5,500.
It'll handle
Yeah, because I have a 7,500.
it. It'll handle it.
It runs my whole house,
It'll handle it.
but
You're not running electric to the freezer.
yeah.
You only have 15 amp circuits for the furnace. The only other thing that puts out a lot of voltage is the the pump.
Yeah.
That's a double pole.
Well,
breaker.
that's
it.
what, one of the, what Emmett wrote to me email was that we would have to take out two lights, ran lighting and use it for the pump because of the two lights equals the power needed to run the pump.
Did anybody ask him whether we can just put a transfer box in?
He hasn't called me back for me to
Oh, okay,
answer,
yeah.
so that's
Put a
something that I
transfer
should.
box in, you can choose what you want to turn on.
I just- okay.
5,500 watts is a lot of wattage. I mean, you're talking,
Okay,
a pump only goes cycles until it shuts off. Furnace is 15 amps.
the furnace is already on it. Furnace is.
But I'm
furnace
talking about,
use the
I'm
phone.
talking about if you're drawing against a 60 or 100 amp transfer box, usually it's a 60 amp transfer box. You've got the furnace, you've got the, what most amperage is the pump. But
Yeah.
everything else I can think of, and here's all lights and electronics.
Right,
That's it.
so that's all I'll ask. I didn't know what to
I was
ask.
gonna
but
do that to
that's-
my house, and I have more than this place has,
Yeah,
way more than this. I have two refrigerators, in both are a couple, two refrigerators, a freezer. Well pump,
yeah,
furnace, oil furnace, wood furnace.
right.
You
Washers,
just have
dryers,
to
microwave.
select what you use. If you don't want, if you want, you can take one circuit off. If you're concerned, it just won't, it'll just dim. You just have to shut one of the lines off and to give yourself more juice.
So talk to the electrician about
Yeah,
being able to be
he's-
more
he-
efficient. It should have been,
he's the pro, you know,
okay,
I defer to him.
okay.
That's what I'm keeping hedge.
Okay. Town report guy, you're still there. Did you find anything out about the rabies? I know we saw a blurb that I shared with you that Newfane is not doing a rabies clinic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Something's going on.
Bye.
Can you hear me, Dot?
Now I can, you were on mute.
Okay,
did you
no, I wasn't able to get a hold of Carol, but I'm of the belief that the Humane Society has a great service to offer the residents of Brookline, and the monies that are generated, which are very reasonable for the vaccinations, would certainly serve the Humane Society well.
So I think they actually offer it once a month, and I can put that on the lease listserv and also advertise it on Front Porch Forum to get people to get their dogs licensed and vaccinated and then licensed in town. And what's the date they need to be licensed by? April 1st?
What was that, Dot?
It's April 1st they need to be licensed by, and then after that it's
Yes,
a
April
$4.
1st is the April 1st is the date that's due for all animals to be licensed.
All right, and then after that, it's a $4 fine, and then in May it goes to a $50 fine. All right, well, that's what I'm assuming. I think Wyndham County Humane Society will do a good job there. Okay. I'm gonna move, anything else, Guy, that you'd like to report?
Not, well, the only thing is that we have obviously the town meeting. And the other thing is that we have the school budget vote, which is going to be Australian ballot, which is on March 22nd. So we will be in the office all day. The counting will not have to be done by the Board of Civil Authority in Brookline, because all the votes will have to be taken to Leland and Gray or Townsend Town Hall to be commingled and counted all together.
Oh, okay, so it's just running the collecting the ballots. All right.
Question?
Yes, sir.
For counting of ballots at town meeting, Guy, do you need any BCA members there to do that? Or is that something that you and Gwen do as a standard?
Gwen and I have been doing it, for all these years. And, Cynthia used to come in and help, but we've been able to do it fairly easily, and we've got it down to a science. So this, I don't expect a big turnout for the school budget, but you never know.
You're talking about
But
town meeting.
at
I'm
this
talking
point,
about town meeting, Guy.
I'm sorry, what was that?
There are certain votes at a town meeting, I guess, that are required to be in a paper ballot form.
Oh,
And
no,
unless-
well, at town meeting, I will
Yeah.
have a copy of the qualified Brookline voters. And in
Okay.
the event there is a count, the members of the Board of Civil Authority, which includes the Select Board and Justice of the Peace, may be called up to monitor the counting and do the actual counting to give to the moderator.
So would you send out a memo to all of those people, all the justices, and let them, remind them that they need to be present at town meeting to do just that?
Yes, I'm going to do that, but pretty much we're all the same. The Select Board, the Justice of the Peace, and the only one I think is Marie Tatterstall, which I'll notify her. But
Okay.
Good.
I think we'll be okay.
All right, we're all the
All right.
same committee, yes. We do.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning Marie. She is the party who asked me last Saturday if she was going to be needed or not, and I told her I'd look into it. So thank you.
Okay.
I will touch base with her and see what her schedule is. But basically, it was pretty good with the three or four of us there. I think that would be more than sufficient. But I will call her to see what her availability is.
Great.
Okay, all right. Anything else, Guy?
No, that's pretty much it. That's about it for now.
All right, thank you. All right, so quickly by Select Board Chair report, I did attend the regionalized policing meeting with the Wyndham County Sheriff's Office and with Mark Anderson. And this was just, it was probably 11 or no, there's 14 people, 5 of us in person, and the rest were on Zoom for this meeting. And it was to get an understanding about the fact that they do offer contracts. I provided, I think I sent to the Select Board a copy of the email, which shows the different towns and how much they pay. For example, Athens pays $5,500 a year for traffic enforcement and minor calls for service, so on and so forth. There are 13 members that have policing contracts with the Sheriff's Office. The most expensive one is, both Vernon and Putney have traffic enforcement and cover any calls for for service when in town. They pay $97,000 a year, each of those two towns. Westminster, 60,000, and so on and so forth. We do not have a contract, I told them, and that we get our emergencies handled by the Vermont State Police. The next meeting that he has, he will open it up to the public. Because I said that there were some people who are interested in finding out more about policing in town. And so the next one he will hold, and we will advertise it for the public. The next item on my list is, all right, Vermont League of Cities and Towns. I think I already sent that to the select board members, and we read a part of it, which was the policy question about, when I wrote, says the town of Brookline is looking forward to purchasing our first town truck used and reaching out to the surrounding communities via letter to see if any of them had vehicles. And this is where the VLTC said that the town is able to purchase those vehicles using ARPA or federal funds, but to contact Katie Buckley. And I did say that I haven't done it today, but I was supposed to call Katie and just talk to her about purchasing the large equipment and giving her a copy of our purchase policy and such. But if we're not using taxpayer money, then it looks like it's still pretty much an open possibility. So that was that item. FEMA. Okay. So Melissa, it seems to have been the person who was getting emails regarding the obligating money to the town of Brookline for the work that was done on Whitney Hill, Parker Road, Ellen Ware Road, and the other two roads in town are Grassy Brook and Putney Mountain. Okay, for those three projects, and it appears that they have, I just want to, I'll spend a few minutes at the end of the meeting with Mark or after the meeting just to show them the paperwork, but I think we are set to sign off on, and the Department of Public Safety for those three roads are ready to $11,675.14. The total amount was $12,972. And so I want to have Mark just look this over, but I think those are the two sections on Whitney Hill, Grassy Brook, the section of Parker Road, the section on Ellen Ware Road. That's what they're covering. Those are small amounts, so they're not covering the bigger things, which are the Grassy Brook Road damage and paving and the damage to Putney Mountain. Okay, AOT Mark Pickering has offered to review our request for proposals to the FEMA work left to be done in Brookline from the disaster 4621. We mentioned that already. Tonight we're using the OWL, which was purchased to provide the recording and zooming of our meetings here in Town Hall. We purchased it for $1,049. Find in the invoice when it comes that there are 3 other locations or sources of the owls, and they are all the same exact price, $1,049. There's no place that you can buy it in a new condition. So we satisfied our purchase policy for that, even though it was $49 over the 1,000. I have collected three items of sales locations. Okay, number 6. I just wanted to let you know I'm going to continue to use the listserv to communicate more with the residents as they get closer and closer to town meeting. I went over the appropriations at one of the letters I sent out. I went over the articles 2 and 3 in another letter. The third letter, I have another one that's going out about the ARPA. So they will have summaries and information that they can use to enlighten themselves and bring qualified questions to the floor if need be on the day. Okay.
Hey, Doc.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Well, I just have a commentary on that. I think that's a wonderful tool the town has. That's something we didn't have in Putney when I lived in Putney. And there was a lot on how they communicated. So this email list is awesome.
Yeah, I tried to get more people on the email list, and I wrote about 4
Please email us because it's in direct competition to them. So we put it in the town report in several places to join that email list if you're not a member of it. So, and we're gonna send it out with information about our website and the email list. When people buy new homes, the listers will send out a cover letter. So thank you. That was some way to deal with that. Yes.
I thought your short, brief explanation and presentation of Articles 2 and 3 was well done. I like that. It was very understandable, it was very clear, and it made perfectly explain the common sense reason we're doing it. So that was wonderful.
I try to be common sense.
Yeah.
I'm not implying you're not, just that it, I was saying, no one could do any better. That's a great.
Consider, I am cautious about trying to, I don't want to overstep anything. I try to be as right by the book as I possibly can. All right, the next item last item I have, I asked, you need to sign, and I put this on the agenda, you need to sign form PVR 4155. It's a certificate of no appeal or suits pending for the town of Brookline that has been evaluated by the listers. So, we're just going to confirm that they have reviewed this and the auditors have also reviewed this. So I just need 2 more signatures on this, and the listers will be quite happy to record that.
This is an annual thing. It's
It's an annual.
every year we do it.
All right, I will hand this in and that will be done. All right, that's all that I have for me. Any other reports or discussion from the select board? As far as town meeting preparation, David Parker, who would like to run for moderator, is available to meet with the select board to review over things before the town meeting. I didn't want to pick a date. I'm actually not going to be around for about a week, so if you wouldn't mind, maybe our next meeting is going to be March 1st. So the 27th or 28th of February, we could get together. I'll put out a note to all 3 of us and Mr. Parker and see who can make it. And we'll just sit down with the articles and make sure that everyone's running on the same page. Okay. We don't have anybody volunteering to organize the potluck yet, so I'll put out another request for people to sign up for potluck to organize that. I did speak to Fact TV the other day and hired them to come to our town meeting, and they're going to set up a PA in the back so that people can hear what's going on at the front. We'll do the video recording of the town meeting for us because we have enough to handle. ARPA meeting attended by Stan and Dot in Bellows Falls. We attended on February 6th, the ARPA resource meeting and discussion with the state agencies and the Brattleboro Development Community Corp. And it wasn't a very long meeting. Everybody who was there, what their particular areas of expertise is. I know, Bruce, you wanted to know some of the figures, and I have a handout for you, but the state of Vermont got something like, I don't know how many billions of dollars they got, but $250 million went to working on water infrastructure, which is not something that we would have to worry about. $40 million went towards ARPA care, daycare facilities. The libraries are getting $16.4 million. Act 172 is what you were interested in, that energy resiliency program. And Brian is the office manager. There's $25 million that is available for that. $2.4 million of it is going to go to the regional planning commissions for grants to help to organize and work with the different communities. There's a $4,000 educational grants for municipalities to hire professionals to review over their needs. So the regional planning, Wyndham Regional Planning would be the person to go seek to help with the process of the studying this grant. So here's one for you. That has the information. It has the Vermont Planning Commission, as the program partners, of course, Efficiency Vermont, the League of Cities and Towns, and the Vermont Energy and Climate Action Network. VLTC has some links on their page that you can do some additional reading for. But besides that cultural grant, flood resiliency grants, local hazard mitigation plans, there's $2 million, and I will do diligence and get that permit that we need. But at this time, we got information on it. And that's about it. I'm gonna go on to pay orders. Okay. At this time this evening, I'd like to make a motion that we approve payroll warrant 2333 dated February 15th, 2023 in the amount of $4,817.25. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms.